On this episode of WTF America, we explore what the Prime Minister of Canada stated recently. The quiet part was said out loud. That's right, folks. The quiet part out loud. So, we explored it on WTF America, episode 5. All right, everybody. Thank you for the intro. Justin Trudeau said the quiet part out loud, saying that Canadians do not have a right to self defense with a gun. Isn't that kind of a God given right to be able to defend yourself? Does it matter what you use? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look. Joe Rogan looks like he slams Trudeau here. According to the Daily Mail, Joe Rogan slams Justin Trudeau for saying that Canadians do not have the right to own a firearm for self defense. Joe Rogan said on his podcast last week that he was disgusted by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's comments about gun rights. Trudeau said Canadians do not have the right to own a firearm for self-defense. The Prime Minister's remarks were aired on June 8th episode of a podcast Save the World. He said Canadians can obtain firearms for hunting and sport shooting only. Wow. What a clown. Yeah, so that's upsetting, and unfortunately, that kind of thinking is in the United States as well by some Democrat and Republican leadership in Congress and Senate. Every time there's a shooting, someone's always screaming gun control, which none of the laws that they propose would actually have stopped anything. Like safe storage laws, or hey, we need to have a more comprehensive background check. We need to have a background check for every gun purchase. Well, there actually is a background check. When you go buy a brand new gun, there is always a background check. You have to fill out the proper forms, and you're subject to a background check. Now, if you buy it from a private individual, you're not subjected to do a background check. Now, some states do require it. Probably like, I don't know, California probably would. So it doesn't make any sense, everything that they propose. And also, it looks like the Nashville Shooters Manifesto is being delayed again on coming out because law enforcement is, I don't know, dragging their feet. I'm not saying the rank and file, I'm saying the leadership. And why are they doing that? So let's see here. Nashville shooter. Let's see. Manifesto. And I know they're being sued over it too. Let's see, look at this right here. National Police Association sues to make trans Nashville school shooter Audrey Hale's manifesto public, days after cops said they were pausing plans to release it due to pending litigation. Seriously? But that's the kind of craziness that's going to come to America if we don't stop it at the border. Because it's going to come from Canada. Like, look at this right here. Faced with a home intruder, here's what it is and isn't considered self-defense in Canada. A Milton man was charged with second-degree murder after shooting someone who broke into his home. According to police, his lawyer says he was protecting his mother. Wow. So someone breaks into your house and you defend yourself, and you're going to go to prison. A Milton man on Saturday was charged with second-degree murder after shooting someone who had broken into his home and attempted a robbery. According to police, raises questions about what Canadians are legally allowed to do if they are faced with an intruder. Self-defense laws in Canada. Understand your rights. Canadians have a fundamental right to safeguard themselves and property, And this right must be upheld as long as their defensive actions are reasonable and proportional to circumstances. However, it is crucial to note that injuring an intruder or using lethal force is only justified when it is the only available option for self defense against a perceived threat of severe bodily harm or loss of life. Reasonable, huh? Any actions taken beyond what is deemed reasonable and necessary will not be condoned by the law. In essence, Canadians have the right to use force to protect their homes and themselves, but only to the extent that is reasonable and necessary. Well, that sounds like a bunch of crap right there. And here's the same guy, the Milton man, 22 years of age, charged with second-degree murder. He's had his first court appearance. I mean, this is terrible. So you don't know what these intruders are on far as controlled substances. Um, they may be twice as strong as you, better shape, more fit, and they come in and just beat your ass. And you fear for your life because you're not sure what their intentions are. And you may have small children in the house. You may have a wife, or an elderly mother or parent, a father, whatever. It doesn't matter. You should have the right to defend your life. And I'm going to go ahead and save this one for the Nashville shooter. So, the Prime Minister of Canada has made it pretty much known on that podcast that sport shooting and hunting is the only reason why you should have a gun, and you can't use it for nothing else. I find that to be crazy because I live in the United States where we have a constitution, we have a Second Amendment that gives us the right, and we also believe that we have a right to defend ourselves, and we will not give up that right.